Yeah, I just had my dinner, man. I've been trying to eat healthy and eat clean for a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I wanted to make a part two to that video I just made, man, about these females, how they run their prime out with the white man or the men of their race and come to you all used up and tossed to the curb. You know what I'm saying? We got to avoid those women at all costs, man. I know a lot of guys are, thirsty and stuff. They haven't had no woman in a long time, or they've been, turned down by women in their prime. So you go after the single mothers, because you got to do what you got to do, right? You got to bust all kinds of nuts for something, right? So you got to say, you know what? Nah, this ain't gonna work. I haven't dated a single mother since the pandemic started. I think my last single mother I dated was the big fat girl that I just was not attracted to her. The bra was around my age. I think she was like a year older than me or something like that. And, her kid was half black and stuff, man. But I was just not into her like that in the bedroom. My dick wouldn't get hard on the second time we had sex. And I stopped seeing her, man. I just stopped talking to her after a while, man, because I was just like, I'm not attracted to women that are overweight. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll make some exceptions. I'll mess with a few women that are overweight. But nah. But like I said, man, this shit is worldwide, man. A lot of these females, they run their prime out and they want to give it to the black man when they're done. When, the white guy don't find them attractive no more, or their own men don't find them attractive, then they gotta date you. A lot of these females, they're not gay, so they're gonna go after black men if that's all they can get. Especially if you're a young black man. You know what I'm saying? A young man in his prime. You see what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I can, date this old white man, or I could date this young black man in his prime. That's the way they think. I'm gonna go after the young black man in his prime, nice and young. Give it to me all night. A young black man, he give it to you all night with his stamina and shit. You see what I'm saying? And when you're young, you'll fuck anything that walks and shit. When you're in your 20s, you'll fuck anything. You'll fuck single mothers, you'll fuck women without children, you'll fuck fat women, you'll fuck all kinds of women, bro, when you're young, because you're not that picky and you ain't lived life yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that you deserve better. When I was younger, I didn't think I deserved better, bro. I was just like going after single mothers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was dating them, taking them out on dates and stuff, hanging out with them. I didn't think nothing of it. But as I gotten older, I'm starting to see that a lot of these females, a lot of these females are out of their prime, going after black men, but you could clearly see from the child that she had with another man, you can clearly see that the kid is not half black. She only going after you because she can't get a whole lot, can't get anything else. You see what I'm saying? A lot of you guys, they got that mentality. Well, I'm older, so single mothers is all I've been dealing with. The women that I deal with got kids already. You don't have to settle for no woman past her prime. Like, look, man, we don't age the same. Women and men, we don't age the same. Women's eggs start drying up like around 30, man. Women are old by the time they get to be, 35, and shit like that, man. You know, these women, they get all old and then they start checking for you when their options start drying up. Believe me, women's options start drying up after they hit like 25, 30, mostly like 30. After 30, it's a, whew, man, for women, you know, time is running out basically. So they start getting desperate after 30. They start going after any old thing, including black men. They're like, oh, we got to go after black men because these white boys, they ain't feeling me no more. I can't get white men with money anymore. For real. That's how the white man think. The white man think like, I want a woman in her prime. But not all white men think that way. There's a few white men that go out there and take in single mothers and stuff like that in other countries. But mostly white men, most white men, they won't fuck with you if you got a kid. They disappear. They ghost these females real quick. So you gotta have that same mentality that the white guy got. Like, once I find out you got a kid, I'm out of there, man. You ain't gonna, you know, give me the worst of you and shit. You know, or what's left of you. You ain't gonna give me that shit. You see what I'm saying? They only come after you when their prime is destroyed, basically. You know? Now, I know some of you guys going to travel, and I told you guys, this shit is worldwide. You know, they see black men as the garbage pail kid. Remember those garbage pail kids, those action figures and stuff, or them fucking dolls that they used to have back in the day? Well, why I say action figure, garbage pail kid doll? But they had dolls that were like, you know, what's it called? A garbage pail kid doll, right? So they see you as that, as the last resort. If all else fails, get a black man. You know, and then they talk amongst themselves too, like, even with white women. You know, when white women have a kid by another white man and they become a single mother, then they start checking for you because their options have dried up. You know, and if you a simp, you know, you'll take her up on the offer and shit. You know what I'm saying? But don't be simping out here, man, because simping, it can dry your pockets up. You know, you simping and shit for her ass, and that shit will, I'm telling you, simping is dangerous, bro. That shit is fucking dangerous. Because it'll cause you to date single mothers, you know, and be broke, you know, paying for that child and stuff that she had with another man. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, man, these women, if you could pump and dump them, go ahead and do it, but don't stick around long term. You know, don't stick around long term. After you hit it a few times, ghost her. But a lot of them single mothers, they used to do is hitting the pussy and disappearing and shit. So what they do is they'll send you on a wild goose chase. You know, they'll hold out on the pussy and shit from you. I had this one chick right before the pandemic. She was a single mother. She was like 46 or something like that. And her kids were still living there, right? At the house. She would not give me that pussy on the second date, bro. Because I guess a lot of dudes are coming in and out of her life quick. Because, you know, the first thing you think on your mind is, let me hit this pussy and get the fuck out of here because I don't want to have nothing to do with her kids. You know, these females, they smart. They hip to that shit after a while, man. You know, because a lot of dudes coming in and out of our life, hitting the pussy and leaving, because they don't want to have nothing to do with them kids. So what they do is they'll stretch that fucking shit out. They'll send you on a wild goose chase. You know what I'm saying? Have you jump through loops before you get the pussy and shit. You know, she want to make sure you want to want to do long term with her and shit. Like, well, I can't do long term with a single mother. Sorry, I tried that. That shit don't fucking work. You already had kids by another man already. You 40 something years old. You way past your prime. You way past your due date. So think about it. You get with a single mother, you know, you ain't gonna be able to have no kids with her unless she's hella young. And nowadays, it's hard to find a young single mother. It's competitive for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me hold on one second. All right, so you don't want to do all that, bro. Like, fuck all that, bro. You know, I say get your money up, head overseas, right? Because we always talk about going overseas. Get your money up, head overseas, and then start weeding out the single mothers. When you find out she's a single mother, ghost that bitch so goddamn quick. Like don't stick around. Just remember, there's plenty of water to go around. There's no need to be thirsty and shit. When you out there in Thailand, or in the Philippines, or in Colombia, you don't have to be all thirsty and shit. Like, and take the woman that first gives you action, because a lot of the time, them females be desperate single mothers and shit. You know, a lot of guys, they fall for that trap. But it takes a mighty motherfucker to, like, turn down some young, hot, tenderoni single mother pussy. You see what I'm saying? Like, you ain't checking for me when you not in your prime? When your options start drying up, and then you start checking for me? Nah, man, don't take her in, man. She wasn't checking for you before. You know what I'm saying? Why now? Because you running out of options? Your options ain't good? You know, I done heard it from the horse's mouth. I done heard it from women themselves here on YouTube. They said, man, when they was 22, 23 years old, they had all the options in the world. Man, it was like a fucking buffet. That was just one chick I said on YouTube, here on YouTube. And then as soon as she got over 30, them options start turning terrible. That's what she said. I'm not just saying this, but this shit came from a female here online. She said once she got over 30, she said them options start drying up. She said, but when I was in my prime, I had options everywhere. I mean, she said that shit was like a buffet. Like I said, man, she said that herself. I'm gonna call her the buffet bitch. You know, because she was talking about when she was young, all her options like a buffet. And man, and she got over 30, like I said, she got over 30 and she realized that, you know, she done, you know, ran her prime out, and now she started getting desperate. And then she started looking at the black man. Ooh, black man started looking good then. You know what I'm saying? But before her prime, she wasn't checking for the black man. She was dating the white dudes. I'm talking about some of these Thai women too, man. Or Hispanic women or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then they look at you after they get to be 30-something years old, bro. Those are the worst years. So you basically giving the worst to the black man. Give him what's left. That's why I don't understand why Young Jeezy married Jimmy Mai. Jimmy Mai was dating white guys all the time. You know what I'm saying? When she was in her prime, when she was primed up, she was in her 20s. And then all of a sudden, you know, she get to be 30, 38, 39. And now she dating Young Jeezy. And she was so happy that he had proposed to her, she didn't know what to do because that was her only last hope. Young Jeezy was her last hope of getting married. And she finally did it. And everybody's clapping their hands and shit for Young Jeezy and congratulating them and shit like that. Like, don't do that shit, man. Why you clapping your hands for Young Jeezy, man? This nigga done went into the garbage can and took out the garbage pail, bitch. digging in the garbage can, the trash can, just scrounging around looking for anything that he could find and shit. Don't be clapping your hands and he coming up. No, he ain't no. That ain't no come up. She's a leftover female, man, and your eyes gotta see her as such. You clapping your hand for what? You congratulating Young Jeezy for what? Congratulations, like bro. Jeannie Mai, she's a good looker. Don't get me wrong, and I bet she got some bomb ass pussy. But bruh, she's way past her prime, and I don't understand why out of them young women, young hot tenderonis, you want to pick her. You see what I'm saying? But he got some trouble ahead of him because the way she look now, she ain't gonna look like that in the next 5 or 10 years. She gonna keep on getting worse from here with her. You see what I'm saying? And then he ain't gonna be attracted to her no more, and then he gonna start cheating. I guarantee it. You see what I'm saying? Because his eyes is gonna change. I mean, his eyes never change. You know what I'm saying? Like us men, our eyes don't change for young women, man. We keep on liking young women through our whole entire lives. And when she starts getting older, her hair starts to thin out. When she starts looking her worst, that's when he gonna step out on her, and the marriage is gonna end, man. And the thing is, Jeannie Mai, she hanging on to Young Jeezy for dear life, cause that's her only option. That's her only option and her best option. So you best believe she cooking and cleaning and being feminine every single goddamn day for him. You see what I'm saying? Cause she don't want to let that go. Cause after that, there's no more ring for her. Ain't nobody gonna marry her then. So I went to the job What's up, man? Anything else? Yeah. Thank you, man. Have a good night, man. I'm just saying, man. They spent their whole entire lives running after Chad and Tyrone. They spent their whole entire lives running after, the bad boy, and then they look at you after a while, and then you start looking good to them. It's like they got their beer goggles on or something. Like all of a sudden, you start looking mighty good to them. You see what I'm saying? And these women, they end up alone in the long run. Us men who's goal driven, got money in the bank, we not checking for them. Especially black men, not checking for them at all. Because I can see who you had your kids with, and then when it comes to me, you want to plug yourself up. No, thank you. I didn't understand that until I got older, though, bro. I didn't understand it when I was younger. I was just so like immature, and I didn't understand how things worked until I got older, and I saw my ex-girlfriend, how she just plugged herself up. Because how like those females, when they don't want to get pregnant and they want to have sex without the condom, they'll put that diaphragm inside their pussy, It's this thing that plugs their pussy up, and it has like a rubber string on it, and you can feel it even though you hitting it. You can feel it. You see what I'm saying? To keep her from getting pregnant. Well, my girl, she put that stuff inside her pussy. My ex-girl, I mean. When it came to me, but she didn't do that for the other guy. She had his baby, had a kid, and everything. And me and my girl, my ex-girlfriend, we didn't have no kids. So she wasn't the right one from the start. And I wasted so many years, wasted so many years thinking that I deserved her when I really deserved better. Especially me being 10 years younger than her. We wasn't exactly 10 years. I say about 9 years. We were 9 years apart and stuff like that. I could have got a younger and hotter girl at the time. But the thing is, she had money. She was making like 6 figures a year. So I was kicking back every single day at our house, playing Call of Duty, going out to the bar every now and then, coming home, giving her the D, dicking her down and shit after I come home. If I didn't get no pussy at the bar or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So then, I start seeing that, oh, damn, yeah, damn, she was running around with the other guy, the tall guy, that was 6 foot tall, okay? The guy she was with, he was a 6 foot tall white dude. I think he was over 6 feet tall, you know what I'm saying? And she got knocked up. She can't get those tall dudes no more. I seen it happen with my ex-girlfriend's daughter. She was dating, when she was in her prime, she was like, late 20s or something like that. She was dating some tall dude. Tall, he was like 6 foot. He was taller than me. He was 6'3", something like that. And then when she had a kid by him, her next boyfriend that came to the house, he was like shorter than me, like he was like 5'8". I was like, damn, how the fuck did you go from the tall, lanky dude to this 5'8" dude? He was a bit shorter than me, bro. And I was like, so that shit works. The wall is real, bro. After a while, they can't get those men no more. I'm telling you. Then they start checking for you. Once she ran her fucking prime out with them tall dudes, then they start checking for the shorter guys, because they can't get those. Those are the most desirable dudes who are over 6 feet tall. And the thing is, a lot of dudes who are over 6 feet tall, they got a whole lot of options, so they don't have to settle for a single mother. Those dudes that they used to be able to get in their prime, they can't get them no more. They done had a kid, they cross over to 30, they can't get them dudes, them Tyrone dudes no more. You see what I'm saying? They can't get them tall Tyrone, good-looking dudes no more. Because Tyrone got a whole lot of options. Chad, he got a whole lot of options. So he basically, he fucking play these bitches around like a rag doll. Toss them around, toss them into the garbage can after you get done having fun with them. And then they get on TikTok, and then they start complaining about why these Chad dudes are not committed to them. But baby, you a single mother. You can't demand shit anymore. You see what I'm saying? You past your prime. Chad and them are not checking for like 30-plus-year-old women. You see what I'm saying? He's checking for those young girls. And now you're competing with them young girls. Women past 30, yesterday's news, bro. You gotta avoid them. And they get real desperate too after they get, when they get to that age. Anyway, man, I'm to my destination right now. You guys have a good night, man. Just want to drop that quick part 2 video, man. Just want you guys to be aware of the game and how it's played and shit. You guys have a good night. Peace out, take care, and bless. I'm out.